Hello, welcome to our homestead. My name is Cherie and today I'm in the Harvest Kitchen and I'm going to be making a simple 2-ingredient oatmeal cookie. This is a gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free cookie and it's great for people like me who are wheat-free, sugar-free, and dairy-free. Because of health issues, I had to change my diet. And this was a wonderful recipe that we found. Now it's not going to be like a normal type of cookie, but it's going to be a great treat. And I've given some of these to some of my friends who are very used to eating really nice different kinds of pastries. And they really enjoyed it. They couldn't believe that it was something they could eat and not feel guilty about and just enjoy it. So for those of you who keep asking me, Cherie, what do you eat? Well, here's one of the recipes, and maybe I've already shared it with you. So what you're going to do is you're going to use 2 very ripe bananas, and we're going to peel them and put them into a bowl. Okay, you want to get all the strings off and everything. And we're going to peel it. Just put it into your bowl. I usually like to start with 1 because we're going to mash, okay? And so what we're going to do is just break up your banana into small pieces. And then you're going to take your fork and you'll smash it down as much as you can, almost until it's like a liquid. Okay? So just keep smashing until you have a good liquid. Do this with both bananas. Now we are going to add the bananas into the oat mixture, into this oatmeal right here that we have. Okay? So I'm going to add this in. And I'm just going to mix. So now I'm going to mix these ingredients together. Now we are going to let this mixture sit for 5 minutes. Okay, our 5 minutes is up, and now it's time to start spooning them onto the baking sheet. As you see, I'm going to use parchment paper today. Okay, so now we're just going to spoon these out onto the the paper here, the parchment paper. And we're just going to do it in heaping spoonfuls. And I just like to kind of tap it down a little bit so that it'll have a nice little shape when it's done. Okay? And, you know, this is so easy. I mean, a child could do this. And it's probably hard for you to realize that this is actually going to make something. Now, this is not going to be a firm type of cookie with a crunch that you're used to. This is more of a chewy kind of a cookie. So as you can imagine, it would kind of almost remind you of some kind of granola type snack. Okay, now, what you can do with this is as you're spooning this out, you could actually sprinkle some kind of toppings on top of it, whatever you'd like to use. Some of the suggestions are vanilla, you could add a pinch of sea salt, you could put a half teaspoon of ground spices into it, you could use chocolate chips, dried fruit, 1 to 2 teaspoons almond or peanut butter. That's a good thought, I might try that. 1/3 cup coconut flakes, okay? You can put a thumbprint in the middle of it and leave your thumb, but and put jam or apple butter or some kind of preserves or something like that. I haven't tried that yet. I'm still in the early stages of learning how to do, you know, just the basics of things before I start experimenting with more. But I have made these a couple of times and they come out really, really good. And so I wanted you to see these because it gives you an option of something sweet you can make fairly quick if you have bananas and oats. Now the oats that I'm using, these are gluten-free oats, so I'm not worried at all that this is going to be a problem. You could also make these smaller. You could make these a lot smaller and have more of them. You can also double the recipe, you know, use 4 bananas and 2 cups of oats. In fact, I think I'm going to split this right here and make this into 2 cookies. And, okay, there you go. And now, this is a great breakfast cookie. As you can imagine, if you just grab one of these and go, you know, you could add, like they said, add a little almonds to it or something like that, and then you're going to end up with some protein in it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put these in the oven, and we're going to bake at 350 let's see how long we're going to bake these for. For 13 to 15 minutes. I'm going to go with the 15 minutes because I know my oven. And you want to have them kind of golden brown until they're kind of firm to the touch at the center, and then we're going to cool on the rack. So let's go ahead and get these in the oven. Okay, the oven just went off, and so now we're going to test them for firmness, and they are firm. So you want to be careful when you pull them out, not to let that paper slide too much. I had it almost fall off a little while ago. So there are your cookies. Okay, so now they're going to be very gooey and sticky right now. So we're going to let those cool for a few minutes, and we'll come back and see the finished results. What I'm doing now is I'm just taking the spatula and I'm just carefully putting it under the paper, between the paper and the cookie, and removing it. Okay, so I've already moved 2 of them. Parchment paper works really well for this. The pan's still a little hot, so I'm trying to just be careful not to burn myself. Okay, and so let's take a look at what the inside of one of these cookies looks like. Okay, now it's still pretty soft right now, but you can see it's going to have a nice gooey texture. Okay, so you can see some banana and some oatmeal in there. The oatmeal on the outside is still going to be slightly firm, so it's going to have a little crunch to it, but the inside is going to be very moist. Okay, so there are your banana oatmeal cookies. I can imagine that you're probably thinking of other things you'd like to do, but I encourage you, don't add sugary things. If you add raisins, and if you have digestive problems, and you tend to get gas in your stomach and stuff like that, when you add raisins, it's going to make that worse, because any kind of dried fruit, the sugars just don't process well in a stomach that doesn't like that kind of thing. So especially if you have issues like I have. So what you might want to do though is add almonds or other kinds of nuts that you enjoy. If you can't eat nuts, then like they said, flavor with different types of spices. You could put cinnamon, a little bit of vanilla, and you know, I'm sure you have lots of other ideas. So I hope you try these out and enjoy them. Please leave your comments in the comment box below. Would love to hear from you. And let us know if you have any recipe ideas. Would like to try them and share them with other people. So long, and see you next time.